since we're doing live, like since we have a platform, we should be there. But like,
I just don't know anyone else on Twitch.
You know who used to be on Twitch a lot? Who had a whole thing on Twitch was
Oh, Kalia.
Kalia.
Right? Yeah, no, they still got their thing.
Does she?
Yeah. Are we on?
Oh yeah, we're live.
Oh, okay, cool. That's what's up. This is the Horribly Good Guys podcast.
Hold on. I'm making sure I can hear you because I didn't mic check your mic.
Oh, mic check. Oh yeah, that's me. All right, I'm on there.
You were definitely on here.
Horribly Good Guys podcast on 92.9.
Oh shit! Let me share real quick, and then we'll decide how much longer we're gonna do this without Johnny.
Without the dragon.
Right post. Nope. Nope. Oh, yeah.
We out here, people. Tell somebody. Tag somebody.
No, don't tag anybody.
Love somebody.
Love somebody, definitely.
Hope y'all are strapped up because it's gonna get hella pornographic.
Is that what we're doing today? This is the pornography show we got going on?
It's the porno show.
Oh shit. What up, everybody? This is Horribly Good Guys podcast. Theme song here. No. There's a theme song that I actually put here when I record this, for the YouTube side. So let's do theme song here. Up, and there goes our other guest. Hey, fill time. Fill time.
Let's see here. Banning books in America. How do you feel? Let's talk about it. One, that's terrible. Why? Because history should not be erased that way. Granted, there might be things you disapprove of, but fuck all that. Am I right, people? Am I right? The third member of today's podcast just arrived, hence why I'm feeling extra time here for y'all. How are y'all doing? Let us know in the comments. Are you feeling like today's a good Monday? Are you feeling sexy? Are you feeling alive? Are you feeling equally as pornographic as we are? That's right.
I love pornography.
What up, fam?
Oh my god, it's oh shit. You hit me.
Man, you got a small butt. Calm down.
Yeah. Right?
It's small in here though. You big in here.
It's a big world we living in.
Yep.
Ooh, it's nice and cool in here though.
I mean,
Props to the air conditioning. I feel that.
I feel like it. We literally just got started, so nobody even knows what's going on yet. You showed up right on time. Shout out to everybody who's watching live. I honestly don't know that we're gonna do a whole live show because I don't give a shit. We may just record most of this stuff. But anyway, for those of y'all who regulars here, y'all know Rooster. Rooster he's been here before. He's filled in this space before, problematically, or sometimes not problematically.
Probably sometimes fixing the problem.
Yeah, sometimes fixing the problem, definitely. But the new guy in the middle, if you don't know him, here's what's crazy. I was gonna ask you, What am I introducing you as?
You can do Johnny.
Okay, then shout out to Johnny.
Johnny's cool.
Okay, Johnny's here. Shout out to Johnny.
I have like 10 other aliases.
Yeah.
Like some people do.
See, I told somebody, I said, Space Dragon's gonna be on the show, and they said, who the fuck is Space Dragon? I said,
outside of like the poetry slam community, people are like, what are you on?
yeah. Space Dragon doesn't carry well to just regular people.
I noticed
Like,
that.
poets be like, oh, yeah, that is dope name. Yeah.
Definitely.
Question. This isn't even a
What
thing.
up, Keith?
Dopest poet name ever. What? Like you heard it and was like, oh, that is fire.
I just heard one recently that I was like, you're an asshole.
Shit. I gotta think about that. Dopest. Do you got one?
Honestly,
I'm freaking
Yeah.
out.
vocab.
Vocab fits.
Vocab's like,
No. But see,
No, but
vocab though,
it's
right?
Like, it's like vocab, like, oh my god.
'Cause I
Oh,
feel
into the mic, dude.
Like,
I was trying to like go live on my thing,
Okay, yeah, do what you gotta do.
but there was somebody twerking and it wasn't. I'm not used to that. Okay, look, just gonna go like that.
what's up, America?
Poet name.
But vocab is always the like when I first heard vocab, I was like, I'm mad at that. Like that is a dope name for a poet.
I think a lesser poet would have been vocabulary.
Right. A lesser poet would have been vocabulary.
So
Vocab.
shorten it is better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a dude in Georgia when I lived in Georgia who was his was fucked up. I can't remember his first name, but it was like James Spitz or whatever. It was his like name, like James Spitz. And so he would get on stage and be like, do this whole intro poem, and then at the end be like, spit, poet, spit. And then I was like, that's dope the first time. Then after that, I was like, man, that's kind of lame.
Damn.
That's kind of lame.
It's a gimmick.
Yeah, right. But it was his real name, though. His last name was Spitz.
See,
So,
the thing is, like, my name is Johnny. My full government's like way longer, but it's like Johnny Major Rivers, you know, and it's just kind of like,
but Major Rivers is dope.
it's dope, but I'm also the third. If I really want to go all the way,
right.
there, Johnny Major Rivers the third. It's like when you have like it's like Rodriguez,
Sandoval.
Matos, all that,
Yeah.
all that, but it's not.
But it's dope. And we're gonna start the show and shit. But what's really dope is like I didn't know when I first met you that you identified as black.
Oh yes.
Like I didn't know that.
Yes.
So
And
no.
for me, it's harder because I usually just go with Afro Latino.
Yeah,
It's easier for people
right.
to like digest that.
Right.
But yeah, my dad's full on.
My dad's full on too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I had these pigments, man. And I tell him that all the time. Like, what the fuck? Like, where were? And I had the whole like middle school where like I'm adopted, right? Like I straight up called him out, like y'all lied to me. Like people at school be like, Johnny, you're not black, bro. You're adopted. And I was like, what the fuck? Bro?
You have to ask your dad, hey,
Like,
am I?
No, here's the paperwork and everything. I feel like he checked just to make sure.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, it's a
It was like a
suspect. You know
baby
what I mean?
swap at the hospital. Yeah.
You know, the other thing is my dad's kind of like more athletic built. He
Yeah.
looks like he's in the NFL still. But the rest of my family is like chunkier, bigger, fuller.
Your dad played in the league?
My dad could have played in the league, but then I was born. I feel like I kind of fucked that up. But it's okay, though. He's all right.
Hey, shout out to taking care of your responsibilities.
I mean, that's a thing too, though, right?
No, he was a All-American blue chip athlete. He went to D1, played football at UTEP.
Okay.
All that.
And then you popped up.
And then my mom, and then all that. And
Yeah.
then just, no,
Yeah, no.
hi.
Right.
And
Right.
then,
Understandable.
like,
Understandable. Yeah.
oopsie, but
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? It's cool.
I just told somebody today, not just because it reminded me of this. I just told somebody today. We were talking about sex, and I said, I'm at a place in my life where I can't deal with an 18-year mistake. Like at this place in my life, and not to say that children.
No.
Yeah,
that's
but like
when you put it in those terms.
yeah,
it's
like
oh,
it changes life, right?
It really does, yo. You
Yeah,
signed
because you
up.
got kids.
I have two.
Yeah,
kids.
yeah. You
Two
do
of
I.
them.
Yeah.
And the second one was like, damn, I'm okay, for real. And yeah, I have a very funny, complex story because I'm also homosexual.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't gonna say anything, but I mean,
I feel like it's like who I am.
Okay.
And it's confusing to people when I'm like, oh, you have kids, but you're gay, but you're black, but you know, it's just a lot. People don't expect any of those things in that order either.
You know what helps with that confusion? Space Dragon.
Space Dragon.
This answers everything.
Yeah, Space Dragon is the answer to everything.
Literally why I do that, because he's like, oh yeah, dude, you're a lot to unpack. It's like a whole subscription box.
Right. Well, welcome to the show.
I love it here.
Right, I'm trying to
First
do
of
my
all,
job.
no. Jim said, "Wait, you can identify as black."
Oh,
So
see,
Jim,
that's
no.
what I'm talking about.
No. Let me explain. Let me explain who Jim is. I'm gonna give you the simple answer of who Jim is, and then the long answer.
that guy.
Jim is our resident white guy.
Yeah, he's that guy.
Jim actually was the director of a company that I got fired from when I lived in Atlanta. So yeah, Jim was my director, and then
But he didn't fire you. The company fired you.
no, I blame Jim.
Sus.
Like
Yeah,
whatever.
oh
I was about to say, like, you.
Yeah,
So
but
somehow, some way he knew.
but really dope dude. When I put out my book, Jim was one of the first people that was like, "Yo, you're dropping a book. I want a copy." And I was like, "Shit, I ain't gonna shit. Order it like everybody else."
Since you fired me, motherfucker, like, you better give me your motherfucking book.
But
You got a job, Jim.
here's the flip side though. I got fired, and one of the young ladies who still worked there told me. She said, "Hey, Jim told me to tell you that this other company's hiring." And so I immediately applied there and got hired, and then like found my way into a really dope career path.
Okay.
So
it was
you
all
know,
very.
yeah. It was just,
It worked out the way it needed to work.
and I'm gonna say this: should I have been fired? No.
Okay. See,
But
you see
but
that was okay.
should I have been employed there? No. So there's.
That's that catch-23.
Yeah. Like there's that weird space of but anyway, appreciate you guys for being here, man. It's fifth Monday, so normally, we 4 Mondays in a week, and everybody is scheduled between Nate and Face and Mecca, and fifth Mondays I have nobody, so it was like, yo, I gotta find some fill-in for fifth Monday.
I'll fill in.
But here's what's funny. I was like, you said what?
The rest of them were just like, I'm out.
Oh yeah. Here's what's funny. I was like, okay, I've been telling you I wanted you on the show. I was like, I want Johnny on the show. And then I was like, well, shit, fifth Monday, fuck it. Let me just see if Johnny will come up.
It works out.
And you know that I'm just always.
And shout out to
punctual.
Face. He has a new show coming soon.
Face has a new show coming soon. It's actually gonna be on our so HGG started a network, the Horribly Good Guys Network, and right now Face has his own show dropping September 24th called Life at Face Value. So that's coming out. I'm also
What's it about?
it's basically long form. It's a long form podcast. So each individual episode will be about a thing. Like he's gonna do an episode about music.
I like structure.
Episode about then I don't know why you're here.
No, I'm saying no. You just said it was like long form.
Oh yeah, his show.
You were giving
this
me, like,
show.
structure
Yeah, this
vocabulary.
show
I
is
was
not long form at all. Like I don't give.
Alright.
We can talk about 12 things in the next 10 minutes, and I don't give a shit.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
Chaos is awesome, but I was like, ooh, you were just like, this is gonna be like a whole series.
Yeah,
And
so
like,
so I think he's right now we're doing he has like episodes planned out with guests or whatever. So we're gonna do that, and then the first one drops the 24th, and then we're gonna drop every other Wednesday after that with new episodes, stuff like that. So that's in the works. I also am in the slow talks with Travis and Brando about doing a podcast because they want to do something.
funny.
Food podcast.
Actually, a hip hop podcast. Dead ass.
Can't speak that shit.
But that's why. Yeah, Travis. White Travis.
Shout out to White Travis.
Shout out to White Travis. So the premise of the premise of their show is really dope.
He's heard maybe 3 Jay-Z songs. Maybe.
Right.
And he's also of that one demographic, right?
Oh, yeah.
So that makes him like super qualified to talk about him.
Right. But it's not to say that Travis will not speak about shit he doesn't know about
I feel
with
like
authority.
that's on brand.
Yeah.
He will do that.
Yeah. So there's that.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Travis, shout out to Faith, shout out to everyone getting on the network.
Yeah, man. So that's what we're pushing right now. Then yeah, man. Look, we gonna get out of my mama basement one day.
Yeah. First, you gotta dude.
like-
All the other podcasts are tearing your ass up in the like comfy like seating arrangement game. I think that's step one. Like the dope lounge
First of all,
chairs.
these are comfortable as
It's
fuck
also
chairs.
like height
I know,
dynamics
right?
and stuff like that. Because you could be like in a small. I like what this does for me proportionally. Because if you smush me down, bro, I look like a whole potato, which I don't not look like a potato right now, but I look less like a potato. I feel like
Less, more of a elongated potato.
something like that.
Yeah.
Sweet potato.
You
It's a root.
Oh shit. Let's get started, man. We didn't do any pre-show to discuss where we were starting at all. Like there was.
what George do?
Let's start there.
Oh,
Let's start
I have no
there.
idea.
Oh, you didn't.
You didn't put that on the list. So I don't know what George do.
I read about
Okay,
that.
okay, bet. Let's start with.
George
I
Formans.
think that's a good place to start. Let's start with George Foreman. So a news story came out, and I want to be clear because I was like, yo, this is wild as shit. A news story came out. Boxer George Foreman allegedly assaulted 2 minors in 1970, according to a lawsuit. So there's a California lawsuit that was filed that claims that 2 women in the 1970s were teenagers, and they have now filed a lawsuit against George Foreman. One of the women, I believe, according to the lawsuit, was
One was his agent's daughter.
Uh-huh.
The other one was his trainer's daughter.
one of the women was 13,
Yeah.
and one
One of them was 9 when they met him. So they're basically alleging that he groomed them. And then later had sexual relations with them against their will, I'll point out. But it started out as them meeting him because of their proximity with his parents.
And he was a champ then, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's how they found out that who it was, because they didn't list him specifically in the deal, but it
Right.
did say that he was like the winner of a.
Right. And so it happened between the ages of 13 to 16, and the other one, at the time, Foreman was 23. And the other one, it was when she was 15 years old. And so...
George Foreman gets nasty pants. 1. And when do we bring up Karl Malone?
we should have started with when do we bring up Karl Malone?
That's in the title of this episode.
Right. When do we bring up Karl Malone? Okay, so there's a lot of shit to unpack here, though, because my first thought when I saw this, my very first thought was, this was in the 1970s. That's 50 years ago, roughly. A little over 50 years ago. 50 years ago. They are bringing a lawsuit now. How much of the facts are now convoluted?
Yeah.
How much of the story is now almost, what's the word I'm looking for? Made bigger because of the times.
That part, right? Because the context of the era, right? Well, the other thing is that one of the reasons that it's actually being brought up is because of what do they call it? The statute of limitations. They just changed the law in California to where you could prosecute people for sexual crimes way later. It's like a brand new thing, which is why this is happening. And I guess the argument is are you affording people justice that they deserved back then now? And is it wrong that the prejudice is so much worse because of how conscious people are now?
I think that's a 2-part thing. I think on one hand, yes, it's very hard for people of this era specifically, especially if you're under the age of, say, 30, to look back in things in the 80s, 70s, 60s.
It's just not
and have
real.
And have any sort of sense of like understanding. There's a movie called Soul Man, which is the worst movie ever created. It's literally about a white dude who played Pony Boy in The Outsiders, who couldn't get into Harvard, so he wears blackface the whole fucking movie to get into Harvard as a black man. Fucking yeah.
But contextually, for that era, it was
What was
acceptable.
Was that Soul Man?
Yeah.
I remember Soul Man.
But like, if you were to play that now for like anybody,
Yeah.
you'd be like, what the fuck? Ray Dong Chong was in it. Like, she was bad, and like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what would you say to her
Dude,
now? Like,
this had to be maybe 20 years ago, maybe that if that long. Cisco had a song that started with the phrase, "Do I have to grab the back of your neck to make you listen? Do I have to grab you by your neck to make you listen to me?" That's the starting lyric. Do I have to grab you by your neck to make you listen to me? Like, sensibilities have changed.
Absolutely.
That does not mean it was right,
No.
but it does say that for me, even with the George Foreman thing, like, are you prosecuting him today based on 2022 sensibilities?
And I think that's going back to what Johnny says. We have to sort of take it two ways. One is the court of public opinion right now is kind of weird, like for a lot of the reasons.
You're not gonna win in that
at all,
ever.
But also, like, you also have to, and legally, I absolutely think you should not have a statute of limitations, especially with statutory rape, like ever. So that's on that foot.
You know what I mean? The other part is that, do you allow for someone like George Foreman to have made amends in that space of time? Like, he's denying it completely.
As he should.
Yeah, I mean...
as would make sense. Yeah, not like, if he did it and he's, denying it,
shouldn't
then he shouldn't do it.
No. He's in today's space, he should. And here's why.
I'm ready.
Here's why.
I'm ready for it.
If he did it,
Yeah.
and he just comes out and says, yo, I did it,
Yeah.
he runs the risk of then, regardless of the amends he made, he runs the risk of losing everything, even if he feels like
Does he lose everything?
Yeah.
Does he lose? He ain't fighting. His grill's done made him however many
can still
million.
break-
But
Dillard's
but
today.
but what happens when they take his name off the grill?
He's straight. He how many sons of his
I think
all got George Foreman names? They're straight.
Even his daughters.
Oh yeah, even his daughters.
Yeah.
Like, they are straight.
Yeah.
Like, he has enough wealth. Even if he cuts a fat fucking check, he is straight.
See, but I would still say, like, it becomes a risk game. To me, it becomes a risk
Yeah,
game.
I think you're risking it.
I think this is my opinion. I think now, okay, here's another good example. Someone like David Bowie or even Led Zeppelin. They have accounted interactions with groupies when they were rock stars who were definitely under the age of 18. A lot of it was because girls would run away from their houses when they were 16 and they weren't really checking for IDs in the 70s. And these rock stars were just, hey, I'm a rock star. I think there's a way of sort of acknowledging that there was times, there was bad shit, and granted, if he was more malicious with grooming them and stuff like that, that's a whole.
That's what they were alleging, right?
Right.
They were alleging that it was something that they knew him when they
Right.
were little, and that he used the fact that he was employing their parents against them. And for me, that is like tricky territory,
Right.
because it's really like meticulous. Like it sounds like, okay, man, he was planning this out, but you don't hear of an allegation since then. As far as I'm aware of, it could have happened.
Right.
And that kind of like leaves people to wonder, like, okay, did he change? Is he a different person? Or did he just completely subvert that shit?
I've said that about like situations that involve certain men who have dated younger women, like
Jerry Seinfeld.
well, Russell Simmons. Russell Simmons was old as shit when he met Kimora Lee, right? But I've always said I look at that a tad bit different because he married her. Like he dated her, married her. Now that doesn't make it's different to me because he dated her, married her versus R. Kelly who dated her, used her up, and then pushed her aside.
Demi Lovato.
Right.
Demi Lovato is one that she was dating the dude Fez from.
You looking at me like I
Okay,
know.
yeah. Well, the dude from that '70s show.
Oh,
No.
yeah.
No.
So you know who.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah, okay,
You're our Demi Lovato specialist at this point.
I'm not a Demi Lovato
What you
specialist.
said? What you
It's
said?
just
70 show.
I'm a TikToker. Okay, I come on. I'm scrolling TikTok. It's like, oh my god, Demi Lovato dissed her ex-boyfriend Fez. I don't know his real name. I'm sorry.
Gotcha.
What about Valderrama?
That guy. And
Wait, Demi Lovato dated Will
A lot of
Valderrama?
people dated Wilbur Valderrama.
they were
That
like-
dude was slanging dirty dick
so,
around
wait,
Hollywood.
so it was mad dirty.
Hey,
apparently. So
episode
like,
title:
so-
Wilbur Valderrama's dirty dick. All right.
so I think that like the punchline in that is like 29-17.
Yeah.
Because he was 29, she was 17 when they met. Later they dated when she became of age, right?
Right.
But they met. So apparently things transpired when she was underage, and then it became this thing. Well, now I'm just talking about it, So it's this. I feel like in that instance, she's also accusing him of grooming, and that word is such a like a hot button word right now, where people are like, okay, what the fuck does grooming mean, right? And it's basically like when people like saw potential in someone that was underage and then waited till they were of age to do something.
While still passively like flirting and
like keeping that connection with them.
Right.
And where that becomes odd is like, so my fiance is older than me, right? He's 40. I'm 33, about to turn 34. Fuck shit. But
it gets no better.
when you know what I'm saying? But like when he's like, oh yeah, I was already in college and you were not even
right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh, well, that. But because he didn't know me that when I was that age, it wasn't weird, right? But
No, dude. Understand this. I have messed with someone who, when we started doing the math, I was like, yo, let's not do the math. But it wasn't a grooming thing. It was, I met her she was an adult when I met her. She was just young.
Gotcha.
But she was already an adult when I met her. So, but even in this, like with the George Foreman thing, I think ultimately, like to me, there's so many nuanced levels. I'm not giving George Foreman a pass because these girls were still children. And I don't make any I don't give any passes for people who fuck with kids. I've said this on this show before. Whereas Bill Cosby is a rapist, I still credit all of the amazing things Bill Cosby did because they were amazing things, and his victims were of age. I'm not saying that it made it right, but they were, at least they were adult women.
And justice kind of happened.
And justice did it?
It happened. I mean, he's in jail.
No, he's not.
Or no, he's getting prosecuted again to potentially go back to jail.
Yeah.
And he got out on a technicality.
He went to jail on a technicality.
He went to jail. He got out of jail. His career is over. Because you know Bill still wanted to talk.
It was a whole thing.
But Bill still got money though.
Sure.
Yeah, Bill still got long bread.
George still got long money.
George still has money.
Okay. I mean, I'm not arguing that George doesn't have long bread. I just think Bill still has.
Yikes. See, exactly.
Long bread.
He said yikes. Yikes.
But say what?
He said yikes.
But I think that's like with the George situation, I feel like that the Me Too movement at its height, right? When it first started, it kind of came through with this like almost heavy hand, right? And just started just taking niggas out. Like
and I was here for every moment of that shit.
I was here for most of them. So there was come on now, like Aziz Ansari, he kind of got caught up in some.
I feel
right. But I'm saying when it first came through though.
Well, but see, I think that may go to your point where Aziz kind of also tried to like step out in front of it by being like, well, this is what happened, and then it made him look even worse. It's like, damn,
he was really gonna like pressuring females to do stuff, women to do things, and that's why it's like anything that happens to the patriarchy as a result of the shit that they did is like whatever, it happens. It's a drop in the bucket.
No, I agree. Like I mean, from a grand scheme of things, like sometimes innocent men get caught up in the bullshit too, right? And I'm not saying Aziz was innocent, but when you're trying to make sweeping change, sometimes it's lesser offenders get caught up because you're trying to make sweeping change.
Teenagers that are texting each other, and then one of their parents finds out that they send each other a new photo, and then one of them ends up going to jail for statutory rape.
Right.
And they're in the same fucking class.
Right.
Like, that to me is like an example of that it was overreaching. It went too far. You damaged now this kid's future over an allegation from someone that had no idea the context of that mess. You know what I'm saying? But where it is as like you're arguing about consent. It's like,
but and that's to me why kids are different. That's why with Foreman, with what's your boy name? Robert Kelly, with
Robert.
Yeah.
Not Robert.
With
Aaliyah?
No. I'm saying with Foreman, with R. Kelly, with no. or even with Fez, with Karl Malone, like they was all fucking with kids, and so in that space, it's like, nah,
I'm not
I
even
can't.
trying to hear your
Yeah, I can't give you. I cannot. South Park Mexican, like we.
Fuck that, dude, yeah.
People are like, wait, South Park Mexican? Yes, man.
Yes.
Yes, convicted. Yes.
Yes. Right. Like. Yeah.
Yeah.
So in that space, of, to me at least, the George Foreman situation. When I first saw the story, my thought was, come on, y'all are just. This was 50 years ago. Calm the fuck down. Not saying.
But no.
Yeah, but like
off the bat,
yeah.
that was my first reaction.
And
It
then
was like, oh, and now here we go looking at George Formans.
right, and then I started reading through the story and went,
Fuck. Like,
damn it.
This is actually kind of really
Right,
sad.
right. See, it was the grooming part, right?
Exactly,
Like,
yo, like-
not to say that George sleeping with a young girl is acceptable, but to say that the times back then were different.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it was acceptable, but just the times back then were different.
Yeah.
But then when I find out you're grooming her,
It's just calculated.
nah, not yet.
And
Now
Take
you-
his name off the grill.
Yeah.
Leave the
Off the
grill,
grill.
let's take his name off.
Yeah, now we have
Yeah.
air fryers, honestly.
Oh,
so
yeah,
like,
that's
it's
true.
just all antiquated at this
Right,
point.
right.
Air fryer game.
Who was it? There was somebody, and I can't remember the name. Folk singer a few years back who got kind of
Bob
caught
Dylan.
up. It wasn't Bob Dylan.
Was it Bob?
No, got caught up in the whole Me Too situation, and he told a story. He said, "Look, I was in my hotel, and young girls came to seek autographs. They were 15. I opened the door nude,
I mean,
and
you
then
catch me at the right time at my house.
right, I opened the door nude, and that was the issue they caught him on, that he flashed himself to young girls, and I'm like,
But see, check it though. Did he know they were coming?
That's what I'm
okay,
saying.
Because at the same time too, he might have just thought it was an of age, you know what I'm saying, lady
right,
of the
right,
that
right,
persuasion,
right.
and was like,
Had no
hey,
idea that they was children trying to sell Girl Scout cookies, perhaps.
right.
We talked about.
I don't want an autograph. I have a box of lemon.
Hold on, y'all missed this.
Don't do the voice.
I said whatever. I was like, yeah, you know what I mean? And then it was
About 2-3 weeks ago, we talked about this on the show. I'm gonna skip the whole story, but a dude met a young lady and her friend, and took them back to his place. While at his place, he was smashing girl B. Girl A stole his car. He calls the cops. Girl A says, well, since you're calling the police, tell them that you just smashed a 16-year-old.
wow.
But this is what I always say every time I come on this show.
But in-
dudes gotta do better about these. We gotta stop leading with our dick.
Well, yeah,
Right.
But yeah, at that point, you already know that 16-year-old's being trafficked for that specific reason.
Fair, yeah.
But-
You know what I mean? Like,
But here's the problem, though. As an adult, if I didn't know she was 16, I'm knocking her down, and then now I find, as an adult,
Yeah.
I didn't know she was 16, but I'm knocking her down, and then find out she was 16.
why did you not check before you?
No. I'm saying you should check.
the amount of,
Okay, but-
for that situation to get you caught up, you have to have like
You have-
tidal
yeah,
waves
it has
of
to-
women
yeah,
at you at all
yeah,
hours.
yeah.
So where like you're just
I
like,
couldn't fucking tell.
I just was like,
shut
I
up.
just, it was just
Like,
falling from the sky.
okay, bro.
But if it's me, just casual Joe person from the block,
I'm bringing these two
I'm
random
like,
girls
ew.
home, and one's gonna hook up with me,
Yeah,
and I'm
like,
just
I met you
curious.
at Brass
Why
Monkey,
do you like
hell
me?
no.
Okay.
I've never seen you before.
fuck-
All of a sudden, you want to smash.
Fuck.
Not
Fuck.
just that, not just
Fuck.
that,
But
but
no.
it's like,
Fuck
we're
that.
not beating
Fuck.
on-
I drive a GTO.
Fuck
like-
what y'all are. Nah. Okay,
That's why I drive
Johnny.
a Mitsubishi Mirage.
Johnny, I'm gonna say this because you and I are cool,
Yeah.
but I don't know you the way I know this douche, right?
Let's go.
So I'm gonna say this right now. Maybe in 2022 you're not, but 10 years ago,
I was checking.
you were checking IDs 10 years
I
ago.
know, like I knew who I was fucking with. I was
Okay,
like,
no.
I was like, you're
You're-
in college with me. You work at
You're telling me,
the bank
you're telling me 10 years ago.
10 years
A
ago.
girl was not gonna come up to Rooster and be like, "Yo, can we?"
No.
smash?"
Rooster was doing poetry 10 years ago though. So you're telling me
exactly.
a chick runs up on you at a show
Yeah.
and says, yo, I want to give you head in the back of the show, you're going to be like, let me see your ID.
Yes.
Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of
It would be
here.
in a bar. It'd be in a bar number one.
Well, no, in poor guy there.
That's what I'm
Like,
saying.
There's a whole situation, and then on top of that, that may have happened. That's number two. And when it did, it was like, oh, I got the.
I
get the
have
co-sign
never
from
gotten a
someone. Hey, does
blowjob
anyone
for
know who
being a
that is?
poet.
Does anyone know who that
Wait
is?
a minute. Time out. Wait. Pause. You've never gotten a. You've never gotten a blowjob from being a poet?
Just for being a poet, no. I
He
mean,
came late in the game. He missed the 2010.
damn.
Yeah. Shit.
There was like a whole thing where
2010 was
you guys
wild.
were- That sounds like
Like from 2000 to about 2015. Yeah, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was still like.
I'm a-
not-
I'm
That's
a-
when venues didn't give a shit. It was like
I'm gonna tell you
weird.
this: you get on stage and do a really good sex poem.
I'm discovering that.
You
Now
walk-
I write, now I do.
You walk off stage and you'd be like,
You get to meet me in the parking lot.
"Yeah, you get to meet me in the parking
I
lot."
still haven't.
Yeah.
But I'm down. If putting it out there, if you are over the age, see, and I'm somebody like even in this sex poem, I like older people. Like I consider myself to be pansexual at the end of the day. I prefer dudes. It is what it is. But if it's gonna go down, I like old. I like
Actually,
older
I prefer older women too.
because they know what they're doing. You know?
Dwelle show.
Oh, wait. That was a great show. Well, you're saying if I was at that show,
No.
someone came at me?
All I'm saying is Dwelle show.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was you the host, right?
Yeah. Dwelle show.
Either way,
Woo!
keep the grills.
Next
throw George
subject.
out the water.
You started out bad, bro. He's like, oh shit, I don't even remember that night. Anyway,
See,
George.
I agree with Keith. Just said threesomes throw off all logic, and I to some degree I think that, like, okay, if I get the cosign from, if I know one chick is of age,
But it wasn't a threesome though.
well, he thought in that situation he thought it was gonna be a threesome.
Thought it was going, like,
Yeah,
she was
it
gonna,
was-
She going to the bathroom. She getting ready.
Yeah.
Got you.
He thought it was gonna be a threesome and got.
And then she's like, wait, she ain't coming. Why is my alarm going off?
Right.
Got you.
She stole his keys, dude. Like, that's wild. But yeah, I agree. I think threesomes do throw off the logic a little bit. Like, if I know one chick is of age, and then I don't know the other chick as well, but if she gets the vouch from the first chick, I may not ask for an ID.
We gotta
But
do
I
better.
hope
We
that
gotta
you
do
always
better with
ask
our
for ID.
I may not ask for an ID.
At the end of the day, we gotta do better with our dicks.
No, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly.
Mental health in general for dudes is like a whole thing that nobody
It's a
wants to
mess.
like address.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like I don't think dudes ever. I just told somebody this recently. Like, I am one of those people who learned about sex from the block.
Yeah.
Now I got older and had to start like learning shit,
learning,
but
learning.
learning
Yeah,
about
yeah.
sex was some block shit. Like that was like,
I learned consent and shit from the block, and then it's like, oh shit, no, and luckily it never was sketchy.
Right.
But like you come later in life, you're like, oh shit, like yeah, no, consent is like very understood. And it's
Right.
This thing,
Yeah.
it's not like there have been times, I'm fucking drunk and I probably shouldn't have landed up with someone, but
he said there was times like it wasn't yesterday.
didn't want to
There
do
was
it.
times like, dude, that was Monday. Oh shit. Hey, we're gonna do this. We're gonna kick the rest of the show for the YouTube viewers. So thank y'all for rocking with us. Like, subscribe, follow. This is Johnny, aka Space Dragon. What's your socials, man?
Follow me on Instagram, space SPACE_DRAGN, and just Space Dragon, same spelling on TikTok and Facebook. Holla.
you know me, Roost
That-
MTZ.
The what?
And
The who what?
I'm Paul. All right, we gonna kill this side. We'll be back on the other side. Peace out, bitches. Oh shit.
I like this.
We are back
After this nice commercial break.
after no commercial break, but we still back. Shit, we ain't nobody paying for commercials yet. We working on it. Hey, Tasty Alfresca should
Tasty Alfred, I brought next time I'm gonna come with a whole little like setup.
yeah.
Have little like, you know what I'm saying?
tasting and all that. Yes. Yeah, we
or just sip it, have the like product placement.
I'm with it. Instead of this water.
I like that shit though. That
Liquid Death is good water.
hard.
People don't even understand, like, I'm such a water snob, and when they realize, like, oh,
I'm an Avion that.
yeah. Hey, I was in the Avion ad. Remember that? Remember Dubai? Yeah. Yeah.
Now I like Avion even more.
He was a stunt. We were in, okay, slight flex. We went to Dubai to do poetry. Slight flex.
I can't even go over there.
I walked to the little local restaurant just because we had time to kill. So I walked. The restaurant was called Paul. So I had to go to Paul, right? Like, yeah.
Had to go to Paul.
So I hit Paul. I'm inside, and the lady was like, "Hey, you want to do an Avion little photo ad for us?" And I was like, "Yeah." So she gave me like this beanie and wrapped a scarf around my neck and said, "Pretend like you're cold. We're gonna blow snow in your face."
Oh, sign me up.
No, I don't like people blowing snow in my face.
Oh shit, well, that makes one of us.
I'm in a
Speak for yourself. Oh, yeah, right? This is Dubai, bitch.
In a foreign country, I do not want to be snow blown. Okay, so
That still sounds attractive. I don't know why. Like I'm still down, but okay.
so I'm holding 2 bottles of Avion. Boom. She takes the picture. She gave me the picture, and then they ran it on their IG. Like it was on their IG. They were doing this like pop-up ads wherever they were for Avion. I was like, oh shit. So for a while, that's all I was drinking. You couldn't tell me shit. You couldn't tell me shit.
Me, like,
yeah. They Avion sponsored
sent
me
me a
shit.
box yesterday, bro. Just a whole.
Oh shit. All right, man. Let's get back into it. Andrew Tate. What? Why? Why is Andrew Tate even a story? Like, for real.
Yeah, I think it's because so many incels exist and they have command over the interwebs sometimes, and that is they be like, oh my god, this dude bro is like, he's getting girls, he has cars, and they're like obsessed with it.
And now they're like, he's getting persecuted, and it's like he's really not.
It's hilarious. I live for all the shit that's happened to him.
I feel like ever since Kevin Samuels passed, there's been a void that dudes like Andrew Tate, whatever.
Andrew, yeah.
And others have been like quickly trying to fill. I see a lot more podcasts with just basic dudes talking about what men and women do,
Right.
talking dumb shit, talking about pyramid schemes that like they're not pyramid schemes and shit like that, and then talking about hustle culture and shit, and it's very weird.
Hustle culture.
But like he's knocked off all these platforms. Which I mean,
How do you guys? I mean, like, so I think the conversation there is, what gets you worthy of being cut off of these platforms? Like, it took an act of God, literally, for Donald Trump to be removed from like Twitter, right? It took like him literally starting a whole upheaval and revolt against the country for them to be like, okay, you know what? We're gonna take it away from you. What was the catalyst that was like, okay, everybody's like, nah, we're not letting him evolve into something bigger?
I think that's what it was the evolution. I think they got ahead of it. They saw it, they saw the blueprint, and they got ahead of it.
The blueprint.
Because that's what I really think. Because he was.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, he was making a
next to
playbook
Low in a lot
Right.
of ways.
I think, and me and my buddy have had this conversation because my buddy is on that free speech bullshit where you shouldn't censor people, and he. With Andrew Tate, with Trump, with several other people, he's always like, yo, but that censorship. And I have to remind people, censorship is when the government is stopping you from speaking. Twitter is a private company. And if Twitter doesn't want you to talk, then they can say, yo, you can't talk. At least you can't talk here. You know what I'm saying? You can't talk here. You can talk. We can't tell you not to talk, but you can't talk here. And when I see situations and stories like Andrew Tate, my first thought is, yeah, like this isn't censorship, but you're right. He has this group that follow him that believe
what he's saying is okay.
No, they believe he's being persecuted for this shit. Like,
definitely.
And it's really weird because I'm like, I don't know that I've ever. I'm gonna be honest. Like, there's no one that I've ever followed like to the point that I tout them as this super thing, right? Like, everybody is flawed, and so there's nobody that I've ever put on a pedestal, except for Andre 3000. Other than Andre 3000, there's nobody that I put on a pedestal that I thought was bigger than God himself, right? Except for Andre 3000. Like, but even then, if you, right, and even then, if you told me Andre 3000 did some fuck shit, I might still be like,
it's Andre 3000 though. I feel like being in a podcast makes people more approachable or more like you can identify with them because it's not TV per se. I feel like that's how Joe Rogan got a lot of his pull because it was like us. It's like a subculture thing.
Right.
It's just us. You get the buy-in from it's just like, oh, we're the misunderstood misfits kind of people. And this counterculture, oh, we're going against the grain, this like new wave of woke people. You know, like the anti-wokeness is like a whole thing. How woke became appropriated by conservatives and then turned into something that they're like now
it's bad
creating like armies against wokeness. We're like, what the fuck, bro? Like we
yeah. I think
progressivism, it's like progressivism's bad.
Horrifying.
Like, how? Like,
but I because I can tell you the easy how on that is because you sell the extremes, right? You sell the extremes. You sell the idea that Mexicans are coming into America and killing people, raping and pillaging and bringing drugs, and all I need is one Mexican to do that.
And then I'm right.
And then I could be like, see, I told you. Like, see, like, no, we have not, in this country, we have not had one single conversation on a grand scheme that talks about where fentanyl is coming from.
Oh,
Right. We don't have those conversations, right? Like we talk about the illegal stuff that has come through and killed people. That we've talked about. The illegal fentanyl that has come through and killed people, we've talked about that because that comes from south of the border.
Exactly.
But the shit that is fucking up Ohio, that's not illegal shit. That's
homegrown shit.
Yeah, that's shit that exists.
Exactly.
That shit they get from CVS.
You can't blame like the whole like drug crisis in the Midwest for like
Right. Yeah, like you're not so but we don't talk about that. Like the conservatives want to scream about
there's no drug war happening right now, which is crazy to me. Because if this was, blacks on fentanyl and shit, we locking motherfuckers up.
You're right.
Again.
Well,
You're
but it's white people.
the opioid crisis changed that whole who like the victims are now.
Sure.
Well, but I think that's I mean that's
We kind of left the point. Anyway, back to
Wow.
Sorry. But no, I'm going back to your point. I completely agree. I think, and this is actually something I just talked about earlier today, which is that right now it's very popular, to your point, to talk in extremes, especially on podcasts, especially on YouTube, and to speak in just generalities without context, because again, your logic just has to make simple enough sense so someone could be like, I agree with that.
I get it.
And then that's true. Women are bitches. They suck, blah, 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 blah. And I'm ruined. It's like, no, bro, you're just a basic dude who works at Rackspace.
the title of this show is now going to be Rooster Said Women Are Bitches.
Right. I was like, oh, you said it on the internet now. 30 years from now.
Yeah.
Bruce, did you remember saying this that one time? It's like,
But you know what, though, dude? I think, and I've had this conversation about this podcast in particular. I've had people say to me, like, y'all never take, like, a hard stance on anything. And I said, yeah, because I don't ever take a hard stance on anything. Like the problem with taking a hard stance on something is as new information comes in, I may change my opinion.
I agree
right?
with
Like,
1000%,
I'm going to say this, and y'all are going to look at me sideways when I say this, but I've never been anti-Donald Trump. I've never been pro-Donald Trump, but I've never been anti-Donald Trump. I think he's a fuck-up who made president. But I also think that he's a fuck-up, so what do you do?
You also don't think he should have had the job.
No. Yeah, he definitely.
But see, I think that goes back to what we're talking about. Is context matters because when you say like I've never been anti-Trump, it's like that's true, but you don't think he should have held the office. You think he should have been doing his own thing.
It's like the absence of you just not supporting.
Right. Oh no. He should have definitely never been president. But
that's where things get complicated because some people hear you say, well, you say he shouldn't have been president, then you are anti-Trump. And then other people hear you say, I've never been anti-Trump, and then say you're pro-Trump.
Right.
And see, that's where this whole shit gets fucked up.
Right,
So
but
really, you're just saying like, no, man, I have my thoughts about when he does this shit, when he tries to drink a sip of water, his relationship with his daughter.
So you don't have a hard stance.
Right,
At
right.
the end of the day, it's like you just can't.
Right.
Yeah.
But I do have a hard stance against certain people, right? Like I don't fuck all pedophiles. Fuck.
Yes. Fuck Adolf Hitler. Fuck Adolf Hitler. Because he would have fucked you had he seen you. He'd be like, oh, that one gone. That's how I feel about like.
Fuck the police.
If you all day, every day. I feel like if you had a genocidal plan for someone that looks like me or acts like me, we can't fuck with each other.
No,
like,
no,
there's
right.
space for
No, no.
me to like accept you.
No,
Same
no,
with
no.
like white nationalists, like.
No,
they
be clear.
literally want to exterminate me, so I can't be cool with
No,
you.
no, be clear. The on Hitler wasn't like I have any pro Hitler. It's just that Hitler existed in a space pre me, like before, like he existed in this life.
Right? It's just like muddy as fuck.
No, I'm just like, the title of the episode, Paul, bro.
You know what I mean?
But like he existed in a space before me, right?
Yeah.
And so the only thing,
Communism was a thing back then.
right? But the only thing I know, and I'm gonna be honest, like I haven't done any Hitler research, so the only thing I know about Hitler is what I was taught in school.
And
But
we
the
already know that we weren't taught.
yeah, but the same shit I was taught in school wasn't right either.
accurate.
I'm not saying he was a good guy.
I mean, I
What I'm
get
saying
that,
is,
though.
I don't know.
I don't know
I get that though.
enough. I don't know enough, and I'm not doing any
That
research.
makes sense. But that's the kind of. But see, that's the kind of hole that conspiracy theorists fall into. It's like,
Right.
well, wait, but I didn't see Hitler,
And then go
so
home.
he could be Batman,
No,
like,
yeah.
because basically Hitler is Batman because they were never in the room at the same time.
Yeah.
It's like,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
but you made a very valid point. Like, we get taught shit all the time in school. It's like, well, that's not fucking accurate.
Right.
But that's only like a third of the actual truth. So, yeah, but fuck. Then you have the white supremacists be like, oh, see, but they didn't tell you everything because.
Right. No. I got a buddy who's a Hebrew Israelite, who espouses all of these theories about flat Earth and like a lot of shit, right? So he sends me these videos, and every time I click on it, I tell him this: the videos always have a thread of truth.
Yeah.
There's always a thread of
A
truth.
little bit.
And so if you ride that thread of truth, the earth is fucking flat.
Yeah.
Like,
No, I got a flat earth.
yeah, if you,
There's always like a poet. Is yours a poet?
No.
Mine's a poet.
yeah, like if you ride that thread of truth, it's like, yeah, like there's all of these things.
I don't see it curve. You look at the horizon, it's
So,
not
no, 'cause,
fucking
like, this
curving.
person believes like the sun is round, the moon is round, planets are round, but for some reason Earth's a fucking pancake. Like how?
Okay.
People they just stop giving a fuck about like, okay, you went to school to study that. That's not important anymore. Like it's that whole cognitive dissonance where like this makes sense. I will go to a doctor and believe them for this, but not that.
Right.
It doesn't. Yeah.
Dude, I said that about the pandemic. Like when people were like, "Oh, I don't trust what the doctors are saying," then I don't trust the vaccine. I'm like, okay, fine. Don't trust the vaccine. If you don't trust it, fine. But if you get COVID, don't trust any of the science because it's all science. So don't trust any of the science. If you get COVID,
If you burn yourself on the stove right now, fix it yourself because
Right.
you're gonna go to the doctor and they're gonna tell you all the shit you need to do, and if you don't do it, you're gonna.
Same thing with getting chipped. It's like you carry a chip everywhere you go with your cell
all
phone.
the time,
dude, I am telling you right now. They told me when I had people who said to me when I said I was getting the vaccine, "Oh, they're gonna put the chip in you," and I said, "Why do I care? Like I don't care if I'm gonna say this. I have 1, 2, 3. I have 5 Alexa devices in my house, right? And people swear up and down that somebody's listening to me, and I'm like, nigga, I'm not selling drugs. I don't care. I legit don't care. Like, I'm not doing.
Just finding out what type of rug you want.
Right. She might have heard me fuck twice, right? Like it's like I don't give a shit. Right.
I want to hear it.
Like I legit And she knows when I say, hey, sexy time playlist, some shit's about to go down.
Yeah, here we go again.
Earmuffs are like shit. It is what it is. Anyway, fuck Andrew Tate.
I love that. I love how that works.
Where do y'all want to go next?
Student loan.
Yeah, I mean,
How
what?
do y'all feel about? I mean, do you have student loans? I do.
Who are you, the fucking feds?
I just want to let you know. I wanted to, because like some people like give a fuck that don't have them. You know what I mean? Like,
let me.
I paid for my student loan. Like, can I give you all my thing about student loans?
Go.
Okay, so I'm the first from my family. My dad went to play football in a school. D1
Right.
football. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have to worry about financial aid the way I had to worry about financial aid.
Right.
He wasn't prepared to teach me about how to, move through the business office and who to talk to. And my mom was basically like, look, get whatever you got to get this degree, because that's the most important thing.
Right.
And neither person in my family, my parents, are great with finances. So their credit score was already like 3 when I was in college, right? That's why I qualified for some shit. I got the Pell Grant. Thank you, Pell Grant, because now that's a good thing. But nobody was able to coach me through that process.
Right.
And people at the business office was like, yeah, here, bet, sign this, give me your security, your social security number. Here's $300 extra, whatever. And I took that shit because I was fucking 17 and I was ready to just go somewhere else and leave El Paso. Yeah. Never did I know that was going to turn into $100,000 of debt.
Right.
Because nobody was like, okay. And I went to like a religious institution for college, which was like, they really fucked you. Yeah. It's like, what, y'all supposed to be about Jesus Christ, and here you are like,
me, motherfucker.
Forgive my motherfucking debt.
Right.
Fuck my sins, bro. I'm trying to buy a house. So now, I learned like interest rates and all that after I went to college, obviously, but while I was there, I'm just trying to focus on this degree. So now we're getting some fucking forgiveness, and I'm like, thank you very much. And you have all these people like, oh, well, you signed that agreement. Motherfucker. This is what they were telling me I needed to do. Everybody in higher education was telling me this is what had to be done. And that's not how the world works now. You don't even have to fucking go to college now to do the shit that I do.
Yeah.
And that's, we got fucked over by the whole American dream, and that's cool. So they're trying to fix it. And now you have people that are not cool with that.
My 2 cents on it is also this, is that, initially for a long, long time in this country, you didn't need a degree to make a living, that, you could buy a house, you can save up enough, you can raise a family with just a high school diploma. Whereas now, just for an entry-level job, you have to have a degree in a lot of these
Right,
jobs.
a lot of fields, right.
So there's that, but the problem too is that American productivity has gone up so much, like 66% since like the 80s. So we're working harder, but like how much people are actually getting paid isn't going up at all. So like the degrees that we have now for the jobs that we're getting should be earning way more that we could then pay back those degrees, but that's not happening. So it's just this catch-22 where you have people who are getting debt, and I'm one of them. And then at the same time, the jobs that are available don't make enough to really get you out of that
and the
debt.
Interest, bro. The interest. If they would just cut off my interest, I would almost be okay.
Right.
But it's almost like $20K just in interest alone.
I saw a report that said if they got rid of student loan debt, if they just wiped out student loan debt, it would diminish, it would almost cut the wealth gap in half for black and brown people, right?
Because that's what we were trying to do, was close the fucking wealth gap by going to college.
Right.
And that was the whole purpose.
But in seeing that, I was like, yeah, there are going to be tons of people not on board because of that. Because of that specific reason, there are going to be tons of people who are just
they're going to exploit that shit.
Not on board because they don't want to risk. I mean, that change, once that dynamic changes, it changes so much for so many people. So it's I'm gonna tell you this. When I first saw the story and when they first started talking about it, before it got approved, I was like, I don't think it's going to happen. Like, I kept saying it wasn't going to happen. And slowly little things were popping up. I think they forgave all of the DeVry Institute student loan debt. And I thought, shout out to that.
ITT tag.
Yeah, like in any school that had a commercial, like they should, yeah, like they should have done that shit. Yeah, right. In any school that had a Right.
Call the career point.
I sure did call
Any-
it.
But then I was like, you know what? As it's happening, I'm twofold because I'm all for it, but I think it's a political move. Like I think
Oh, it has to be. I mean,
Yeah.
everything that he does at this point is gonna be a political move because he has to get the people that were waiting for Bernie Sanders to do this shit.
right.
And they're still not happy. He at the end of the day, he really didn't make a lot of people happy because he pissed off all the conservatives like, oh fuck, you're giving all these people a handout, and all the people that were Bernie Sanders fans like, well, that's all we got.
Right.
And there's like you're never gonna make everybody happy. I'm very grateful for that shit. I think that coupled with the inflation bill that they passed, that they said was not gonna offer a ton of realistic help at the end of the day, but it was gonna offer immediate assistance for people that needed it now.
Right.
I'm about that shit.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that was necessary.
I
So
think one step they could take further though, without maybe pissing people off, is I think a person with a lot of student debt and potentially working jobs that don't pay it back should also be allowed to file for bankruptcy on that debt because you are not allowed to right now.
Right.
And that's a big fucking problem. If you can't do that, that shit is just always over your fucking head.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think, and hopefully, as this trickles down, there will be other measures to say, look, this is how do we fix the problem that we created? Because we created the problem, like right? It becomes that. Let's talk about this Hood River Hoodlums.
boy,
The-
Y'all read it? Y'all read
boy,
it?
I read the article.
I read the article.
Stacey was getting lit off this Hood River Rat shit. She needs
So
to stop.
basically, backstory.
Yo,
What's this broad's name? And broad
I
is
just
such a
my generic
She deserves it though.
my generic white woman name is Stacey.
Kay Webster.
Sorry if that's problematic.
USA best-selling author Kay Webster is in hot water with people outside of her. Damn it, ad. Outside of her immediate book talk audience, when people caught wind of her Hood River Hoodlum romance series.
Bro, show them. Can we cut to the clip of like the fucking cover of that
The
shit?
series begins with Hood River Rat, a gay romance novel between teen guy new to Hood River, Oregon, and his bully. That's where it starts. Hood River Rat. And then there's also
Whole straight white woman writing a
Yeah,
romance
so-
novel about two black gay men. Make it stop. Like, we don't need your fucking, like, you're not getting it. Like, I don't know why you'd want to romanticize what the fuck we go through or we enjoy, but I'm already going to tell you that you got it wrong. I don't
well, okay.
I don't know. I'm not about it.
Here's my question though.
It's about Hitler.
Here's my question. Here's my question though.
Yes.
Like, what's her name? J.K. Rowling's. What does she know about wizards?
No.
But that's not the same. That's not the same.
Not the
Wizards are
same?
not real.
Well, no,
Black people are real.
But are we though?
She forgot all about
I mean, I guess to her, maybe not. That's the point, right? She
Right.
just sees us as like figments of her imagination. So it's cool to write about fiction, but like that's like real life for people. I thought it was
I feel
stupid.
weird that she put it in Hood River Rat, Oregon. Like,
Yeah, Hood River, Oregon. Like,
That's like if I
was a double
wrote a
entendre.
place called like Gangsta Shooting Texas.
right.
It's like what? It's like and then these
But
people
is there really a
from,
place called Hood River, Oregon?
I doubt it.
Please.
I think it was just part of the
Make it happen.
I
No,
think
I feel like it's a real place.
Hood River.
We're about to find
Where
out right
these
now.
hoodlums
No, we're about to find out.
create gangs.
Maybe she was inspired by the name of the city. She's like, I know. Hood people can live in Hood River.
Side note: Hood River is a city in Oregon.
I told you. She just made it so that it was actually Hood. It was double on time.
The city of Hood River is the seat of Hood River County, Oregon. Blah blah
Better be by
blah.
Portland, that's all I know.
It is. Let's see.
I mean, it's in Oregon.
Has
Everything's by Portland.
has a population of 8313. It's the only city in Oregon where public consumption of alcohol on sidewalks and parks is totally unrestricted.
I'm moving there.
This explains why there's such a hot gay scene.
I'm trying to see if I'm trying to see if this made the. I think
I'll
it's.
say this. So this is a conversation that comes up over and over again with who has the authority to write about what sometimes.
Oh, I like that.
So there was this one author, I don't remember her name, but she wrote this book called American Dirt, and she was Canadian, and this book was all about the Mexican immigrant experience, and she even got money to go down there and like follow immigrants. And
I
all sorts of
remember
big
this
controversy.
shit. Yeah. She got money and they paid her to present in front of all these people that were from there. They didn't get that opportunity.
But then her book ends up getting picked up by Oprah.
Yes.
This is the most realist interpretation of like the undocumented immigrant experience and so on and so forth. And again, she's so far removed from it. And this is where the controversy comes in. So first, her publisher, and kind of similar to this, because the book cover for Hood River Hoodlums is wild.
Yeah, it is.
That's some wild shit. Google it, audience. But the publisher for this book, American Dirt, they had this book release, and they had all these like little candle holders with like barbed wire wrapped around them. Like, oh, it's like a wall. And it's like, so they're using the decor of this event to reflect like the oppression of these people. And again, it's like rich white people
Trivializing real shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that was mistake number one. Mistake number two was then when this woman started getting questioned about, well, how do you have the authority to write about these things? She's like, well, my partner, my husband, is also an undocumented immigrant.
The proximity
He was
situation.
an Irish undocumented immigrant in Canada.
They be trying to pull that Irish card all the
And it
time,
was like,
fam.
again, this shit is not.
They be pulling that Irish
like,
card all the time. Oh, we was Irish slaves,
he
boy.
took a flight to get here.
Right.
He didn't take a train, like underneath the train.
He didn't take the tunnel like a bug,
Yeah.
bro.
Like he ain't hot
Nah,
shit.
that's my thing. Is that you are writing about actual people, and you're trivializing something that people really go through and experience.
Right.
And for me, that's like, just don't. That's
He-
blackface.
Here's where I would have given her a pass. Calm down, Johnny.
okay, I'm
Here's where I would have given her a pass. If she maybe not built the story about someone, but if she talked to if she's just a really good writer, right? And she talked to someone who fed her the story
Based on true events.
based on true events. And so she wrote the story based on true events. That becomes different than just creating, than completely creating this fictional novel.
It's like a collaboration at that point.
Right.
She's not talking about an experience. Yeah.
Right.
I'll buy that.
And that's the only
the
only space where I could give her a slight pass. Because when I saw this, my immediate thought was, yo, these white women are wilding, yo.
Why, yo?
Why? Like, just like,
No,
fuck it. Let's.
wait, what the names of what's the second book? It's like some
Oh.
hoodlum in some, like are you
Hoodlum inside a hoodlum.
something? I promise you, it was like that. Like it was really close to that
And
shit.
then the hoodlum.
You're right.
And then you're like referring to black people as hoodlums and hood. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like there's
No,
just like levels to that onion.
Right.
That I
No,
would
right.
Like layers, not levels, but there were layers to that bitch. And
Unless it was on different floors, then it's levels
it'd be
and
onion levels,
levels and layers. Yeah. It's. I think, and me and Nate had this conversation one time. This doesn't officially apply, but it slightly applies to the idea of as we grow in this new woke space, right? As we grow, we have to some degree, allow for the misstep and allow for the correction. If she came out and said, "Hey, I wasn't trying to offend anybody. That wasn't the goal or the idea." She was just trying to write smut, right? And so if she comes out and says, "Yo, my bad. I apologize. I didn't know that this was gonna be this."
All right, white smut.
I can't.
Like,
for me,
do we persecute her forever though?
cancel her? No, I mean, but it's believing that her professional career is going to go on forever, based on the fact that she wrote smut books.
No,
Yeah, it
my
might.
books are going up in sale because of the controversy.
Yeah, we're talking about it. She's got look. We just sold her 12 more
How many
copies.
people did not know about the Hood River Hoodlums
Right.
series that now do
I
because of
mean,
this
yeah.
podcast?
Okay, yeah. You're right.
But see, I would say, so this
We
is
contributed to
this
this
is-
shit.
yeah.
It's kind of your fault, Johnny.
this would be my little bail that I would shoot her. The problem isn't, in my opinion, necessarily 100% with her. Should she have wrote that? Probably not. It should just be bad. And fuck that. But there's a larger problem because this actually came out recently. I forgot who the author was, but they were complaining that a colleague of theirs who's a straight white male, older, feels like he can't get published now in this woke space.
Right.
Because now you have to be gay, you have to be
My
LGBT,
eyes are rolling.
You have to be black, you have to be Latino, you have to be
You
all these other
can
things.
hear my eyes
but
rolling.
white men aren't getting published that much. But
Oh,
the facts don't bear out because in like the last however many years, like 5 years, like 89 to 90% of the publishing world is still all white. They're
Right.
publishing all white authors and stuff like that. So if there was a space where like gangster, gay, black smut could exist that was getting written by black authors and doing well, and then she was just sort of the minorest of minorest footnotes in that genre.
Right.
Then it would be a different conversation.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Because you think about television. You have white writers who write for black characters all the fucking time.
Yeah.
And they usually do them dirty. Go look at The Walking
Exactly.
Dead.
No, you're
The
right.
Walking Dead has like some of the worst.
And you
interpretations
hear
of
the
black
actors like you've heard stories of actors being like, "Yo, this is not how I would have done this as a black person or as a gay person. I probably would have never said that." There are nuances to those experiences that you can't just make up. You know what I mean?
Asian
No, right.
characters
Oh
and,
yeah, all the way
gay
around.
characters. That's why the gay best friend was a trope forever in like Hollywood.
And for me, it's like, okay, you're a good storyteller, bet. Don't profit off of my experience, fam.
Right, and that's why I say I only shoot her bail if I would only shoot her bail if it was based on true events. If she was getting this information from someone and then tweaking it into a story because they weren't good writers,
And
right?
they were getting money out of that shit too.
Right,
You're
right.
over here selling paperbacks. You say, "Oh, you get a free copy with your purchase, bitch."
you know it's crazy though, dude. Like I'm gonna say this, kind of relate this back to us. Like we had a real sit down conversation. Us being Black America Clothing Company, we had a real sit down conversation about two cisgender heterosexual men making a gay pride shirt. Like that was a conversation that Nate and I had, right? Because we wanted to do a gay pride shirt, but we're both hella straight, you know, like that's who we present as. And it took somebody saying to me, because I was against it. Nate was for it. I was like, dude, I don't know. I feel like I don't want to profit off of a community that I'm not part of. And it took someone who was gay saying, but isn't your brand about Black America? And I said, yeah. And they said, well, this should encompass all of Black America. And he said, you sell women's shirts and neither one of y'all are women. And I went, oh.
Yeah.
But I wasn't processing it that way, right?
Yeah.
And so, but that's how I see this too. Like, it's almost that space of sometimes, in her case, fuck her, but sometimes we don't recognize how the thing we do affects other people, because what the person told me,
able to do shit.
right? Because what the person told me was it's almost, you're almost excluding Black gays if you're saying, oh no, we're not gonna make a shirt for them, like, and I was like, no, I don't want to be exclusionary, like this isn't what I want to do, like no.
Yeah.
But then I didn't want to make a shirt that, I'm gonna be honest, I said, so I still don't want to make a shirt that sells the ideology of gay. Like, we can put a rainbow on a shirt in a certain way, but I don't want it to seem like it's us trying to profit off of a culture.
And also be clear, like, specifically, like, Black LGBTQ issues are very much its own thing compared to larger LGBTQ
Thank you for
issues
pointing that
and,
out.
like,
Oh yeah.
Rooster.
Have you seen have you watched
Thank you for catching that.
Pause with Sam J? No. Have you watched Pause with Sam J? HBO Max.
I have HBO Max.
Okay.
I watch it.
Season 1 is Sam J is a Black comedian.
Okay.
And she's lesbian. She says it like she is a masculine lesbian, but she's like, but I'm still a woman. Like I'm still. And the first season was really about her trying to figure out like blackness as it related to her queerness.
Oh,
But season 2 starts off, and I'm gonna ruin it, but not ruin it. Season 2 starts off as a direct intersection of her being black and queer, and she sits down with a lady from not GLAAD, but one of those organizations, and she says specifically, I feel like black issues are not addressed in gay society. And she has that conversation. Yeah. I'm gonna tell you now, that is one of my favorite shows. Because Sam J is funny as fuck. If you catch her stand-up, I think it's on Netflix, Sam J 3 a.m. Her stand-up is funny, she's funny, but that show, it's a really smart written show just about the intersection of queerness and blackness. And I like it. Shout out to Sam J. See, the season 2, episode 1, I'm watching it, and a friend of mine was like, when you watch it, you're gonna get to a scene that's gonna make you call me. And I was like, really? And sure enough, season 2, episode 1, I went, God damn it. I'm not gonna tell you what it is. When you get to season 2, episode 1, you're gonna call me and be like, God damn it, Paul. Yeah. So,
but I think that we should talk about that maybe the next time I come on, is that whole intersection and how it's people think, oh, you're a part of the queer community. Well, then you're fine. It's like, nah, hell no.
Johnny thinks he's coming back.
I'm inviting myself.
Johnny.
Monday, well, it'll happen again in leap year.
I don't know, shit. I don't know how often this shit happens. Johnny's like, hey, next time I'm on, we're gonna talk about this. No. You will definitely be back. Definitely be back. Let's talk about this Aries Spears situation. Did y'all see? How much of it did you see?
Boy, he's
okay.
Made me so mad because I used to fucking love him.
Okay, so but Aries Spears is doing an interview for, I think, Dialogue magazine, and they asked a question that then turned into him. Excuse me. They asked a question about Lizzo's music. And he responded that he doesn't listen to Lizzo. The artist, the interviewer was like, yo, Lizzo's new album slaps, which it does not. It's good, but slaps is, yeah. And so therefore, he then went on this tangent about not liking Lizzo because of the way she looks.
Wait. He went levels. Like, first it was like, I can't look at her past the fact because she looks like a poop emoji. Yeah. And it was like, fam, we're not gonna go there with you, but you know what I'm saying? You know, but like. Hold
on, real quick. You were gonna ask me what?
I was gonna say, are you in the Lizzo demographic?
I'm not.
Okay, so are you qualified to say if it slaps or not?
I'm not. But no. Yeah.
But this is something that I have to check myself on sometimes.
No. But okay, I can say that. I can say. I think I'm in the demographic of people who like. I like music, right? I like a lot of different artists. I try to be wide varying. I mean, I know Bly's all trap music, but I try to be varying. I listen to Lizzo's album, but it's not an album that would get regular play for me because I'm not in the demographic.
But you're not going to base it off the fact of what she looks like.
No.
You're going to base it off the fact, does it sound good?
Yeah.
If it doesn't slap, it doesn't slap, period.
Right.
But it's not going to be based on the fact that, you know, her body is built a certain way, and that is where he started. Right. And then he went on this whole thing.
Okay, go ahead. I'm going to let you finish because I got a butt to that.
Okay. Then he went on this whole thing where it was like, if women really were about empowering each other, they would be like, nah, you know, you're also supporting big people, diabetes, high cholesterol. It's like, fam, we already dispelled that stupid fucking rumor that fat people are all unhealthy. That's a lie.
Right.
Plenty of big people. I move way better than a lot of skinny motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying?
Because I'm not thin, but I'm not fat, but I'm also not healthy. Let's be clear. I'm not thin. But I'm not fat.
Yeah.
But I'm unhealthy as shit.
Yeah.
Like I am.
That happens a lot.
Like I put gravy on everything.
I don't, and I still gain like 50. See, I eat salads, vegetables, all that shit, and my ass is still big as hell.
You want to know what the new move is? And I lucked upon this. You know that Bill Miller's has that fried chicken sandwich. So with the pickles, get the sandwich and then get a side of gravy. And then dip your sandwich in the gravy.
That's
Dude,
gonna help me.
That shit,
I feel like that would help.
that slaps. Dipping your, oh man, that shit is so good. Here- here's my issue.
Here's your
But
butt.
I do think that an artist's look has a lot to do with the sellability of the artist. I think the look, like,
I disagree. But I'm gonna butt your butt.
yeah. I think that when you look at artists like, because I look at hip hop, right? City Girls outsell Rhapsody. Rhapsody is a better artist. No, not better. Rhapsody is a better rapper. This is what I'll say. I won't say she's a better artist. She's a better rapper than the City Girls. But the City Girls have a look. Same with Cardi, same with Meg, same with...
It's an attitude too, though. You're buying into the whole like, I don't give a fuck. It's a lot too.
No, right.
I got a butt for that one, too.
But I think I think there is a level where the way an artist looks, and I'm gonna say this, not all artists, female artists. The way an artist is worse for females, right? You can be an unattractive dude and sing Seal and still do successful Seal.
Better example.
Dwight, yo.
Okay, Dwight Yoakam. Yeah. Okay. Shit, Cisco. Yeah, Cisco.
5'2" and a
Yeah,
weird looking
right. Cisco is a 5'2" weird looking motherfucker, but
He can sing though.
But he can sing, though.
Voice does things to you. Yeah.
He does that one arm handstand thing.
but I think
Whatever you want.
I think there's a space though. Where like female artists
Yeah.
have to have a look to get to the next level. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong.
Lizzo has a look, and so but one is Lizzo has a look, and
yeah.
and sometimes the market is we're going to sell this big girl
Right.
as a thing.
Right.
They did that with Meghan Trainor. They did that with who was Adele initially.
Right.
Like they kind of do this thing, and then like part of the rollout too is let's talk about their bodies.
But see,
which
but
sucks.
that hasn't been a thing in black music though, because when Faith first came out, Faith. There's only one Faith.
Yeah.
There's only one Faith. There's only one Faith. Like Faith Hill is Faith Hill. There's only one Faith. Let's be clear about that. When Faith first came out, all of her imaging was face shots because she was a bigger girl. Same with Kelly Price.
I'm not saying
All of
Jill Scott.
all of her Jill Scott.
Jill Scott,
They did
it
that
became.
since Heart. They did that forever.
Yeah, like all of her imaging was like Face's album is this. Her first album is this right here.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but see, I think that's the music industry. We gotta call a spade, is generally run by penises.
Yes.
And they are marketing it, and a lot of times it's also penises thinking how they can sell to women.
Right.
And they think they know what women want, but see, because I just had this conversation.
But you've tried to sell your penis to a woman before too, so it
didn't work out. But I just had this conversation the other day. It's like when you look at someone like Aretha Franklin or Ray Charles or some of the Ozzy Osbourne, like they some ugly motherfuckers back in the day.
Right.
But back in the day, you didn't have the visual component
Right.
as we do now.
Right.
But so my first but is I think it's the machine and not the artist that's the problem when we talk about the look that's being sold.
I agree.
Because at the same time, that's why you have a Cardi B getting BBLs. A lot of them getting BBLs.
Right.
You have them getting fake tits, lipo, because they're fitting a mold that they shouldn't have to fit into in the first place.
Okay.
I feel like there is two parts to that too. I feel like if somebody wants to go and do what they want to do to their body, because I'm about like what's it called?
Billie Eilish ain't gotta do that shit.
She doesn't, but Billie Eilish has a body though.
She wears them bad
On
shit,
purpose,
so-
because she doesn't-
I agree.
Yeah.
But see, that's my point. And again, she's also a young white artist.
Right.
Which it also complicates it.
Right.
More. Latina artists always have to sell their bodies. Like I've never seen like a large, maybe Celia Cruz, but again, that was back in
Right.
the day. But like, who's the thickest Latina artist you've ever seen?
There's not a lot of them. No, and I feel like because people keep perpetuating that idea that you have to look a specific
Right.
You
way
have to fit a stereotype to market it sometimes because it's easier to
sell
a
somebody
narrative,
that's
Right.
already.
all this
Yeah.
shit.
I think that becomes the and I guess that's what I'm saying though. Like if you're dope, you're dope, right? Like Kelly Price is dope. Like Kelly Price has an amazing voice. I will listen to Kelly Price sing damn near anything when she's not with R. Kelly. Like Kelly Price is that voice. Yet they had to market Kelly Price with dancers and shit with like.
But the thing is that they don't have to market Lizzo. Lizzo does her thing. Lizzo comes on stage, she plays the flute, she wears a thong, she'll show the Lakers game in whatever the fuck she wants, and I feel like that makes dudes sometimes, straight dudes, uncomfortable.
Fat phobia.
There's a huge thing about fat phobia.
There's a huge.
Big bodies don't need to be.
You know the
spaces.
I don't understand that shit. Whenever like the Lakers game that you brought up was a great example. I do not like I'll never understand why there will be so many men like that shit's nasty. Why the fuck you do that? I'm like, why the fuck do you care?
Dude,
like,
okay.
All. Like it's like, well, I have to see. It's like, nah, did you?
You don't have
Well,
Were you at the Lakers game? It got traction.
It got traction.
We don't think about this shit. It's like, no, bro, this shit got traction in the media, and now you have an opinion on it.
Now
and
I
you
care about
offended
what
because you see a
everybody
bigger
sees.
body
Yes.
Just doing living life.
I'm gonna say this though.
Jack Black lives his biggest fucking life when he was heavy set and no one said shit.
I'm gonna say this. I'm not like. This is gonna sound fucked up.
Oh shit.
Rick Ross did a lot of songs with no shirt on.
He did, and I don't want to see that shit either. Here's what I'm gonna say about.
Hey.
Here's what I'm gonna say about Lizzo in
Speak for yourself.
in the thong at the Lakers game. My only issue, if I had an issue, my only issue is no, fuck the kids. Fuck the kids. Be 100% clear. Fuck the kids. My only issue is space and context for the outfit, right? Like I would have said the same thing if pick Skinny Woman, name Skinny Woman. Shit, my crush. Amber Rose. Nah, fuck Reese Witherspoon. But if Amber Rose would have walked down and had on a thong, I would have been like, this ain't the space for this.
Would you
Like
have?
it was though.
No, I would have. I've seen Amber Rose naked. I'm good.
I mean,
Okay,
whoever-
and
yeah.
maybe that's a fair opinion, but the Lakers thought it was.
I wouldn't have felt no time.
No, right,
Amber
but-
Rose wearing a
And
thong, I would
so
have
it's
this
like
is
again,
space.
why are we bad at this artist?
No.
For doing what the
Right.
what
What I'm saying is, what I'm saying globally, like I don't want to. I think that a thong isn't appropriate for anybody at the Laker game. Right? Just anybody. I don't care if it's Amber Rose. I don't care if it's Lizzo. Shit, I don't want to see Prince's ass in a thong at a Laker.
giving you that ass.
But
feel
in
like-
2022, if I see Prince's naked ass at a Lakers game, that's gonna be creepy and weird. Cause he's dead. But beyond yeah.
I think like if you're a woman and you want to wear that shit, fucking wear it. Fuck what people tell you.
Yeah.
If you're a dude, you want to wear a thong, be careful where you wear it at.
No,
Because
but
you might be subjecting people to shit that you could get arrested for.
but there's space and time for everything though,
No,
right?
yeah,
Right. I think there is.
I think a Lakers game is it's entertainment. Like you're there to be entertained.
But she's not the entertainment.
No, she was the entertainment.
No, she wasn't.
She didn't just go out there on her own. She was a part of the show with the Laker dancers.
Oh, she was on stage. I mean, she was.
It was like a halftime.
All I saw was her in the
No, I thought
in the
they
crowd.
compared her to that. I thought it was the comparison.
It was like
No, I didn't see her on stage. I thought she was just in.
Yeah, she didn't just walk
No.
out in the middle of the court like. No, I thought it was like part of the.
Yeah.
We'll double check.
Yeah, no, I think she was just in a seat.
I thought it was part of it.
No, she was just in a seat. She had a seat.
But what you're
Well,
saying
she
is
did 'cause she's Lizzo.
what you're saying is that there is a time and a place for it because the dance that was going on were dancers that had skimpier clothing than
Right.
what she was wearing.
Right.
So at that point, it was like, well, you're never mad at when they do it.
And I want to push back on time and place. I don't think there's times and places anymore. With the
Oh.
internet, with
No.
how much we screen
I
shit.
think there's always time and
I
place.
think
Erykah
unless-
Badu.
Unless you're talking about like elementary schools and
Erykah Badu.
daycares, the rest of that shit is kind of
Window
wild.
seat.
What about it?
She got arrested for that shit.
She did get arrested for that shit.
I'm saying people wilding everywhere.
No,
now.
but I
When
still.
you have it on the internet, that's why like you have these motherfuckers acting nuts at a Walmart when people are just trying to shop.
No, but
Like,
no. That doesn't make it right though. I'm saying I still think like I can't walk into if I walk into a San Antonio City Council meeting with pasties on my chest and a thong on with my dick in a banana hammock, like and with the ears.
If they let you in the building, then it's the people that allowed you in the building.
No. But once again, though, okay, if they let me in the building in a suit and then I go to the bathroom, rip that shit off, and run into the chamber because I need them to hear me, like I.
What if you're not there to make a statement? What if you're just chilling, listening to the city council meeting? Because, like, in a weird way, I feel like that should be fine. You are a member of this community, and if that's how you chill.
What if you can't afford anything but a banana hammock?
Yeah, like.
Come on, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're like.
It's like all I have left is this
like,
banana
I'm enjoying
hammock.
summer, councilman.
It's hot.
Ron Nurnberg.
The AC in here.
I
mean, I can't argue that if if I'm not speaking.
Yeah, if you're not making a fucking show or something, then what's the problem? I mean, like, bro, I've seen some weird shit, and I'm always like, let people be weird so long as.
Okay, here's my question. Here's my question. If we're saying that it's time and place, if you're saying time and place doesn't exist,
It might not.
am I okay to wear a banana hammock and pasties to pick up my kid from school?
As long as you don't get out the car.
No, I'm gonna walk inside and say, hey, I'm getting my kid.
Oh no.
Why?
Because you're in a school.
Well, that's why I said. I think
No,
that might be the only time
I mean, you would feel comfortable doing that?
No, but I'm saying if time and place doesn't exist.
Well, that's an extreme thing. What about moms who show up wearing and like
Yoga pants.
yoga pants and sports bras?
Yoga
No,
pants.
I
Just 'cause they don't have a ball.
I think that time and place is wrong there too. Like
And see, what I'm saying is like elementary schools and picking up kids and like maybe daycares are probably the few spaces left where time and place matter. I'm saying it's getting smaller and smaller because of the internet.
I feel like.
So what if I live across the street from the school?
Oh man.
Oh, then by all means, sit out front like in your house like that.
Yeah, if I live across the street from the school. Can I just sit out front in my banana hammock and
as long as you're not gesturing towards
in a hammock in my banana hammock? Like I put a hammock in my front yard, put on my banana
If my
hammock.
children went to that school, you be getting paintballed like a mug from across the street.
But why though?
Just because.
But why though? Like this is my house. I should be able to do it. I mean,
I-
according to Rooster's
yeah,
theory, I should be able to do what the fuck I want to do, right?
I'm a hoodlum from Hood River.
You're
we like to go spray people
You're
with
Hood River
paintballs.
Hoodlum. Oh shit. Let's switch it up. Let's talk about this. I know you watched it, the Manti Te'o doc. Did you watch it?
I know all about it.
No, did you watch the doc? Then you don't know anything about it. Yeah.
Boy.
If you did not watch the doc.
That was saucy.
Okay, so on Netflix, there's a Untold, the girlfriend that didn't exist, I think is the title, about Manti Te'o, who is a college / NFL player, high school, college, NFL player who met a young lady online, began a relationship with her, but they never actually met, but they had a romantic relationship.
Yeah.
And at some point, she died. Simple as that. Like there's no way around it. In her dying, we later found out that she didn't exist. She was a catfish. Lene Kaluka, whatever her fake name was, ended up being something else. Renaya. Right, because she goes by Naya now.
Yeah.
And so found out that the person catfishing Manti Te'o was at the time a man.
Yes.
She now lives her life as a trans woman, but at the time he was a man or she was a man. I don't know. This is where I fuck up everything. Anyway, that's the underlying story. The doc delves a lot into Ronaya and what she was dealing with, because she was dealing with a lot of shit. Her dad was a football player. Football was like their family life.
She had a lot of relatives that were in the NFL.
Yeah, so she thought she had to play in the league because football had to be her thing, and she did not want to do football. Yeah, so
the other part is that they were hyper religious, and I say hyper religious. I say extremely religious in the context of they were a Mormon.
Yeah, they were Mormon.
They're Mormon in Hawaii, which is like a small community as it is.
Yeah.
But you already you're talking about intersections. You're already Polynesian from a small community, from a smaller religious community, and you don't know very many people like you that can speak that language.
Right.
So he identified with this one person that could speak football, Christ, and Polynesian, all these things. Basically, she manufactured someone that he was going to identify with.
Right.
And what happened is that it totally, I mean, he bought all of it. This is before people knew what catfish were.
Right.
So everybody's like, oh, you didn't know you couldn't meet her? Like, nobody fucking knew that. I feel like everybody hyperfixated on the fact that the catfish was a man.
Yes.
Mateo, I mean, that he was a, Manti is a man, and they just fixated on that, and they're like, oh my God, he has to be gay.
Right.
And that was one of the things that the two guys from Deadspin in breaking the story, that becomes one of the other side pieces of the story. Their goal was to tear down the structure of ESPN and Fox Sports and all of those places that didn't do the research. They just ran with a story. Their goal was to tear down. Deadspin was trying to tear down the corporate structure of ESPN and Fox Sports and all those shits. And what it turned into was, oh, Manti Te'o's gay.
And honestly, that is what's going to prevent him from being an effective football player. When we've already seen that he's an most effective football player.
He's in the top 10 draft pick, right?
And yeah,
well,
so it fucked it all up for him.
I know it fucked it up. I mean, I don't remember what
Yeah, he was supposed to be first round, but he ended up he slipped to the second round because of the catfishing situation. And there were questions about his sexuality because he was catfished by a dude.
Wasn't that also around the same time Dude went to the league?
No, Sam was later.
Okay.
So I remember when Manti Te'o was going through that situation because I was still in the closet and was in a relationship with a woman, and all what he was experiencing really validated the reason that why I stayed in the closet while I played college sports.
Right.
And why I played football. Because you already knew that if they knew you was a punk, it didn't matter how good you were.
Right.
Nobody wanted to be in the locker room with you. No, everybody was thinking you were going to try to hook up with them or that you couldn't hang. So I felt like for me, I was always trying to compensate by going harder. I started on everything. I was like all district honorable mention. Like I went further to try to compensate for the fact that I was gay because I knew that I could never be in that space. So here's someone that isn't gay, that is accused of being gay, and their career is just fucked because of that. And what people never want to acknowledge is the fact that men are so homophobic and fearful of gayness that they're willing to fuck this whole person's career out of the fact that, oh my God, I supported a gay athlete, you know?
But, right, yes. Yes. I think that becomes part of the hypermasculinity that we're accustomed to, though, right? Like I remember growing up, being called gay was offensive. Like,
oh yeah,
it wasn't fighting offensive, but it was offensive. It was a slur. Like it was like, yo, nah, don't call me that.
It was a fight offensive if they took it to like, no, for real.
Right.
You can be like, oh, you gay, bro, and that's like, bro, shut the fuck up.
But the opposite of that is the number of times that heterosexual men would invite other men to their dick. Like you telling a straight man, yo, suck my dick. That shit's gay as fuck. There's no, let me just say it. Yeah. Telling a man to suck your dick is gay.
Homoeroticism in straight communities is fucking weird as fuck for someone to navigate as a gay guy. Yeah. Especially as a gay guy in the closet. It's like, wait, are you flirting with me? I don't get it. So it was really hard because straight dudes, especially football players, always play around like they get, oh, come here and do some weird shit. And I'm like, no, fam, chill.
Dude.
But then, I'm the weird one because I don't feel comfortable doing that, right?
Dude, I remember, and growing up, I only played sports in middle school, but I remember in middle school, I played a little bit of soccer in high school, but like, I remember it would be a thing on the bus, like if it was your turn, someone would grab you and start humping your leg, right? And nobody, like, it was like, yo, get off me. Like we would fight it, and then that would turn into a thing. But these were a bus full of dudes humping each other's leg, and no one thought the act was gay. Like it was just a way to emasculate somebody, but it wasn't that it was gay. It was just emasculating. I look at that now and go, yo, I wonder how many of those kids realistically was actively hiding something, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because I'll say this, I had a buddy who used to play this game where he would always ask people, you know, would you suck a dick for insert amount of money, right? Would you suck a dick for $1,000? And you know, people were like, nah. Okay, would you suck a dick for $50,000? Like, nah. So he would get you to a number, and once you agreed to said number, you was gay, right? And
it's like you're supposed to say you would never do it. It's like,
right.
Are you insane? That's like $50 million.
But here's a jump. Like me, just because of the way I am, like there is no number. There's no number. But whereas there's no number that you
Which is
could.
really unfortunate because I'd be like, bet.
Where,
How much you really need to pay me to suck your penis? Because I would do it.
But there's no, for me, there's no number that will make me, you know, suck a dick. But there's no situation in life where someone's. Let's be clear. If someone offers me millions, if someone comes to me,
That's my ranking right now. I'm probably at about 55.
if someone offers me millions to suck a dick, I'm gonna be clear. Like, dude,
What's the difference between that and like,
You're-
would you punch your grandma in the face for like $1 million?
you're overpaying me though. No, but I can punch my grandma. I can easily, I can cock back and punch. Dude, look, like you're offering me. No, but like you're offering me millions and I've never sucked a dick before. This is gonna be bad.
I punch people.
When I used to have because I remember that same conversation, it was the money game, and it was like at a certain money point, whoever wants me to suck their dick, it's personal.
Right.
And they really just want to do this so they can lord it over my head and be like, yeah, I gave you $2 million and you blew me and what? And I'm like,
Right.
Yeah. I made $2 million.
at that point, it's not gay. That's revenge.
Right, but and that's the other side of the coin for me. I'm like, if you're paying me this much money to suck a dick,
You get a way better blowjob.
you don't like me, right? You don't. There's something in you that says, yeah.
I'm sure my skills suck.
No. I can guarantee you that my blowjob skills are.
Y'all could speak for yourselves. I am a trained professional. And
The title of this episode is now Rooster and Paul Give Bad Blowjobs.
y'all, like I said, I'm on my live, and I have a reputation to uphold on my community. So let me just not put that on me.
We will not be Hood River Hoodlums. Let's get out of here, but I didn't want to talk about this because I thought it was funny. Sydney Sweeny.
Didn't know who she was at first.
I had no idea who Sydney Sweeny was at first when I saw the story. So there's a story that popped up. Sydney Sweeny is an actress from Euphoria, starring Zendaya, who I don't know how I feel about. That being said, Sydney Sweeny was at a birthday party for her mom. Her mom's 60th birthday party, and people was rocking hats that said "Make 60 Great Again," as well as somebody had on a
like one or two people had like
Blue Lives Matter shirts on or whatever.
And it was kind of like a hoedown.
Right. And so the pictures got posted online and Twitter lost their shit. So Sydney Sweeny had to come out and say, yo, y'all calm the fuck down. This is my mom's 60th birthday party. Here's my question. What the fuck is wrong with people?
I think it's celebrity worship. It's this weird, I don't think, we talk about wokeness here a little bit today, but I feel like the problem isn't wokeness ever. The problem is that we have this sort of idealized person that just does not exist. This ultimate activist, this ultimate woke person, this ultimate like person at the head of everything, just fixing all the social ills of everything.
Right.
And that doesn't fucking exist.
Right.
So like a show like Euphoria, which from what I know about it is very diverse, it's very LGBTQ positive. It's all drug positive. It's all type. For the young people, they see these stars and they're like, oh my god, like
They fall in love with the character.
Yeah, they fall in love with the character. They fall in love
with the story.
Not realizing again, Sydney
Not a real
Sweeney's a
person.
white woman from wherever the fuck she's
Right.
from. Her mom is an older white woman
From Hood River, Oregon. She's from Hood River, Oregon. Like,
And it's like she wanted to have a whole. It's like, holy shit, her parents are white and they do white shit. It's like, yeah.
dude,
Why are you surprised?
I am going to say this outright up front. If you and y'all came to my family reunion, I can guarantee you, there's probably gonna be 1 to 3 pedophiles there. I can guarantee you there's probably gonna be 1 to 22 people involved in criminal activity other than pedophilia there. Like, you know, like if you show up in my family, that doesn't mean that that's who I am. It just, I might be related to some.
Be the one breaking those curses.
I might be related to some niggas who sell drugs, is all I'm saying. Like, I might be related to some niggas who have done some real foul shit. Now, they're old cats, so I really don't even have the place to speak to their old ass, and I refuse to let them around my kids, my niece, my nephew. I won't let them around no kid. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like there's that. But if you're looking at my family, and so when I saw the story about Sydney Sweeney, I was like, yeah, but did anybody stop and ask her who she is, because her mom had a Make 60 Great Again hat? And let's be clear, like I've seen, dude, I've seen, what's Mandy Lynn's hat say? Mandy Lynn has that hat.
Oh yeah, it's the fake one that's like something.
Make races
afraid again
or something like that.
I have a blue one that says, immigrants made America great.
Yeah.
Right, like
It's a branding thing at this point.
at this point, it's a dude. Black America has a red hat that I used to rock the fuck out of during the election cycle, because people be like, yo, what's that red hat you got on? Oh, it's Black America Clothing Company. Oh, okay. Yeah, like it's shit. The red hat it sells.
Yeah.
I feel like on my block, I see people with. I don't like to see Blue Lives Matter shit, but it's not my birthday party. If you want to have a Blue Lives Matter birthday party,
Dude,
that's on you.
I once didn't go to a restaurant that had a Blue Lives Matter sign up front.
When I see that flag places, I definitely deter myself from there, because it's a turn off for me personally. But I'm not finna go blast them all. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's their prerogative to some extent.
My brother-in-law's a cop, and he had that flag, the black and white U.S. flag with the blue line hanging in his garage. And so I walked in the garage and I was like, oh, fuck no. Bye. And walked out. And he was like, what? And I was like, you don't know? And to his credit, he didn't know. And I don't know how he didn't know, because he's still black, but whatever. So he was like, nah, I didn't know. He took it down. And so I'm like, okay, I won't make any cop jokes today. But,
I mean,
yeah. But,
I won't do that. If you're going to have a flag, I'm going to make some cop jokes. But
no, he took it down. So
exactly.
No. Today, because now, even when I go over there now, I'm like, hey, officer, don't shoot.
Please do.
And he's like, shut up. I'm like, hey, I'm just saying.
Yeah. I feel like we talked about that overreaching hand when there's like a shift in culture.
Right.
And I feel like Rooster and I had talked about this before, about how like sometimes cancel culture, or whatever it's called, it's going through this phase right now where it's just anybody's gonna catch these hands.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Until we get to the space where it's like, okay, that's not that fucking important. Let's focus on the motherfuckers that are really like enacting shit that affects our freedoms. Then absolutely, they deserve our ire, our problem.
Right.
You know, if they were having a birthday party where it's Make America Great Again, and they're making fun of immigrants or black people at their party as like a joke, then fuck them, and we could read them to death and rip them to shreds.
Like that time Paula Deen had that Southern, what was it, the Southern Kitchen plantation themed party.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
See,
That's different. That makes That's how she lost her space on TV. That I agree with y'all.
And she also put a lot of butter on shit, so.
Boy, the cholesterol was killing people already.
Yo, they thank y'all for rocking with me, man. This has been fun. This has been love. I appreciate y'all for sure. Y'all make sure y'all follow Johnny on all social media, _ Space Dragon. Figure that shit out. Blah, blah, blah every Wednesday. This Wednesday, Roosters featuring. Yeah, man, I don't got shit to promote. I think that's it. Peace out, bitches.